I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of police chaplain according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
Do you want to take a look at this and make sure it's not another enlistment in the military? You ready, sir?
I'm always ready.
Okay. I state your name.
I, Samuel Lee Hayes Jr.,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
or affirm
and affirm, yes,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States,
in the United States,
in this state,
and this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
That I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
police chaplain
police chaplain
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Continue with the meeting. Next thing on the agenda here is the public comment section. See Mr. Harper's already pumped in toward the front. The council's intention is to preserve the level of respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct public business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation by the collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for purposes of clarification. Council members can offer comments on the speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments and they're allotted a 5-minute time frame. Is there anyone this evening who would like to address the council?
You go first.
Go forward.
Go ahead, you first.
Back to front.
Somehow nobody ever wants to go first. Okay, each person when you come up, most of you know this, but please give us your name and your address.
Marty Grafwinger, 3504 Ramsbury Court, Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
And then whatever comments you have.
All right. So good evening. My name is Marty Grafwinger here on behalf of the BMIA, also known as the Browns Mills Improvement Association. So long before the BMIA was organized in 1919, Sycamore Hall, also known as the Yellow Bank, was the place to be for people with lots and lots of money. And much like today, needed to escape the paparazzi of their time. The original building dates back to before 1860. A notable story is that of New York Railroad tycoon Colonel James Fisk, age 32, met the beautiful Bostonian Josie Mansfield, an 18-year-old singer and actress in 1867. And he bought her everything, including a residence in New York City, a wardrobe, a case of jewels. Fisk spent many vacations secluded at Sycamore Hall, our famed Browns Mills Hotel, with his paramour Josie Mansfield, hiding from the press. Sometime before 1869, Fisk and his partner Jay Gould precipitated what became known as the first Black Friday in the world's financial exchanges when they tried to corner the gold market. Some say they schemed up this plan in the grand dining room of our Sycamore Hall. Anyway, as the story goes, Friday, September 24th, 1869 became known as the first Black Friday on Wall Street. Many traders who had been drawn into the frenzy were ruined. Jay Gould and Jim Fisk came away unscathed, sidestepping the disaster they themselves created. They sold their own gold as the price had risen that Friday morning. Later investigations showed that they had broken no laws then on the books. While they had created panic in the markets and hurt many investors, they have gotten richer. So some things stay the same and some things never change. But Fisk's lifestyle caught up with him. On January 6, 1872, Fisk was shot and killed by his business associate, Edward Stokes, a jealous co-suitor for the attention of the glamorous Josie Mansfield. This, of course, exposed the entire scandal. So then in 1910, real estate developer James B. Riley rebuilt Sycamore Hall, and for a time it served as a place wealthy folks could stay while looking at the property they bought with their newspaper subscriptions and $39.50. As we now know, this single act spelled the end of the Grand Hotel era in Browns Mills, as it brought in many land and homeowners. The brilliance of Sycamore Hall lies in its ability to adapt to changing times. Had it stayed a hotel, perhaps it would have gone the way of the Birmingham Inn, where in 1937 had fallen so low that it had been used as housing for impoverished people. But the purpose of the building changed over the years and with the times. And honestly, I drive past it and I look at it in awe, wondering what it was like to stay back there when it was all its glory. Sycamore Hall can still be felt as the ghosts of a dead diva, eccentric millionaire, a passion-plagued murderer, renowned doctors, a quaint gift shop owner, and a failed banker still roam the halls and rooms and are part of the historic legacy of the Grand Hall overlooking Mirror Lake. The BMAA supports breathing life into our beautiful historical corner piece in this amazing town, and we feel that the Township Committee should be open to not only saving this building, but doing so quickly. The building is at risk and we could lose the entire thing. Nature takes back what once was hers, and every day without our heartbeats to fill the place is another day closer to losing the building completely. So speaking of our beautiful town, thank you to all who came out for Clean Communities this last Saturday. Please mark your calendars for the next one on October 19th. We are meeting at the Browns Mills Firehouse on Trenton Road at 8 a.m. This is a big one, so please think about coming out and helping. Don't forget that the BMIA is hosting the Board of Education Candidate Forum this Sunday, September 22nd, 2 p.m. at the BMIA building. There is only one more day to get your candidate questions submitted to bmia.org@gmail.com. Next month is Town Council Candidate Forum on Sunday, October 27th, also at 2 p.m. BMIA is only as strong as our members encourage us to be. We invite you to join our organization. We are 105 years strong. Membership is only $15 per family per year, and you can pay for this at any monthly meeting. BMIA is partnering with our town's businesses and creating welcome baskets. If you know of any new homeowners, please let us know at bmia.org@gmail.com. We have so many more exciting plans this year, and we are so excited to share them with you. So see you at all this Sunday at 2 p.m. And thank you for your attention, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
My name is Meredith Stacy. I live at 3636 Weymouth Road, Delaware Trailer Park. We are having a lot of problems with management. A lot of problems. We are not getting returned phone calls. We are not getting returned texts. The office was sold for someone to move into. Since that time, our manager has decided not to open another office, therefore she is not available to us at any given time. Had a tree fall on my property a year ago. It did a lot of damage to my roof, my gutter, my shed, and it took her 2 months to have the tree cut up and removed. She then decided to remove every tree on my property and left the stumps. So that now I have all those, I guess, all the things that go with tree stumps, pulling up not only my skirting on my mobile home, but under my mobile home. The earthquake, it was the last thing that happened that really made it bad. My next door neighbor's grandson runs down their hallway and my mobile home shakes. I am on runners, not a slab, which I am supposed to be. They have not, in the 4 years I've been there, moved my trailer, and she told me if I want to have another driveway or a slab done, I can pay for it out of my pocket. It is my responsibility, which is not true. It is their responsibility, since I pay lot rent to them, for them to take care of the lot. My runners have now sunk into the sand, and the wheels of my mobile home are doing so as well since the earthquake. My next door neighbor was told when he moved in, and she kind of wrote it into his lease, that one of the maintenance guys would hook up the water. He didn't need to pay the township. However, it never got done, and he's been there 2.5 years without water. The electric company accidentally turned him off. It says now he's new again. So he's got no electric. Okay? These are the things that are going on in our mobile home park. People driving down Weymouth Road at 90 miles an hour, and she's doing nothing to stop it. Those are the things that are really, really bad right now. Except there are also pipes under our mobile homes that are breaking and leaking horrible smells. She won't do anything about that either. That's our problem, not hers.
That's your situation. I don't know to what extent the township has ordinances that would govern any of that. I mean, the public health, the adult county health department would be concerned without water and through pipes and stuff like that.
And I did talk to a resident, ironically, last week, and I mentioned with, the smells, we kind of assumed it may be sewer associated. If you call Burlington County Board of Health, they'll have somebody out there like right away looking at it.
Well, I was actually told that the person who lived there last, when their oil tank was pulled up, it exploded.
That's
And there was
usually
a
DEP.
10-foot hole under my mobile home.
Right, but that's DEP, the township for an oil spill, that would be DEP.
Well, I
My-
think
my-
they probably cleaned it up at the time.
Right. My question, and I gotta ask my community development director, is you are a rental, I believe.
I own my mobile home,
Yeah.
but we rent the land.
Yeah, so I don't know if we would do a rental CO, because we have COs for rental properties every 3 years. I don't know if that would qualify for that or not. That might help you, that's what it's.
I would like
designed
to see something put on the books for mobile home rulings. There's supposed to be straps, hurricane straps. Oh, that's the other thing, on the new slide, she didn't put any hurricane straps in, and that is a federal law, cause I checked on that. She didn't do that either.
I mean, I did ask our code people to drive through there and take a look at some of the things. I talked with one of the ladies in there, what is it, Barney House or whatever, because it's purple. I actually saw it and took pictures of it and brought it in. They were supposed to go look at it.
There was a lime green as well for a while.
Right, I mean, I don't go out there as often as I go to some other areas, but I was recently out there and I did see some things I didn't particularly care for.
Yeah, I've got the Brews living next to me, my next door neighbor painted their mobile home dark blue and black.
You know, sometimes we can't do anything about the color they paint, so.
No, but we are supposed to ask permission first before we paint our mobile homes, and,
But ma'am, that's an internal thing, the township.
right, she doesn't care.
But, I mean, some of the things we can look at and do, but some things we have no control over.
That I
mean,
understand.
You might wanna consult with a landlord tenant attorney, because you're paying rent, you have certain rights under the law of the state of New Jersey, and I'm sure providing electric, providing water,
Well, that's my next door
having
neighbor.
proper sewer lines, I'm
Yes.
sure all of these things come under what you're entitled to.
Basic needs.
I don't think there's any one that's gonna solve all those problems.
Right, no, I understand that.
Did you get a report back from code on this? Sounds like it could be code issues.
I haven't, this was really recent that I was over there, so you know how it takes time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they drove through there and what they saw, they've written up as being processed and stuff, but some of the things you've mentioned are things we can't enforce.
No, I understand.
So, I mean, and you have,
But
in
Gay, the woman Gay that came out to talk to me, told me to come to the meeting and have it put on record.
who?
Gay?
Me. What?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
You. Hi.
But, I mean, like I said, I was out there myself and looked at it, and some of the things that you bring up, my personal opinion, are very valid concerns. I mean, if your trailer's sinking into the mud, that's a problem. If it's a federal requirement,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, if it's a federal requirement to have hurricane straps in and you don't have them, then that would be a problem too, and maybe we need to look at our code to see if that reflects the same requirements.
That's a federal law, cause I did check on that.
I would stay in touch through, the mayor's administration, maybe get an update from code as to any ideas they may have. That would be.
Yeah, they can personally come out and see me. They can look under my trailer. They can do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you guys about.
Because I've got so many roots under my trailer, the runners that were under my mobile home are useless. So,
I mean, there's my card, if you give me a call or drop me an email with a listing of all the problems we have, I can address it with our code enforcement people and see what they can do. But some things.
No, I understand. Some
gotta be
things you
serious,
can't.
Some things we can't,
no, I understand that.
okay?
Thank you very much for letting me speak.
May I not take up my full, my 5 minutes, so if I could help?
You mean, can you call for 10 seconds?
Why can't you talk to her privately?
Because there's a lot of misinformation that's going on, and there's a lot of misinformation. I don't have these problems in my community. I gotta address you guys though. Can I see all you guys outside? Can I talk to you guys and tell you where to go and what to do? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
You need to go up and speak. He said he talked to somebody over the weekend, and I told him.
Wait, you have your name, your address.
My name's Jean Miller. I live in Bel Air Trailer Park myself. I live at lot 3479 in Detroit.
And what's your name?
Jean Miller.
Gina.
I moved in 2019. I was a recovering addict. The person that owned the trailer at the time told me that she was in trouble through the landlord, that if she didn't get it cleaned up and everything inside, that they were gonna condemn it and they were gonna move it. Got pictures here when I first moved in, before and after, what it looked like. I made an agreement with her. She said either she was gonna pay me $1,200 to clean it up, and she would just put it up for sale, or either I could stay there, pay the lot rent, and pay a little bit at a time until it was paid off. Well, I gave her $500, she took off with my money. I haven't seen her since. I don't have title to the trailer. The rule is in the trailer park, because I found out through code enforcement. She goes, wait a minute, aren't you one of the family? I said, no, I'm not. She goes, do you have title? I says, no, April still has it. I don't have it. She goes, well, you gotta get the title, because you cannot be here renting without title. I've been in that trailer since 2019. I just recently found out I've got proof. I've got mold in my trailer now, and I've never been any sicker than since day one since I've moved in this trailer. And I've asked Georgianne told me that she would give me the title for $300 during COVID. Then when I got the money, she wouldn't take it, she wanted $1,000. Now she's telling me she can't do nothing because apparently April gave the title to the lawyer, because her mom died. She never changed the title for the whole motor vehicle. Motor vehicle said the title was still in Donna Pittman's name, which is her mother's. She never changed it over to her name after inheriting it. The lawyer apparently has it and says that he's not giving the title to nobody. So what, I put all this money into this trailer for nothing. And I was told legally, technically, if I'm only renting, I shouldn't be doing this. It should be either the owner or the landlord. I've addressed this 1,000 times about the mulches, not my problem. Get a hold of April or you do it. So I'm like on a win-win situation, I don't know what to do. You know, I don't wanna be homeless, I just got approved for social security because of my disabilities and my health because of this. So I'm like, I wanna go and confront her and ask her to probably just put me into another trailer to give me the title. I don't know how to handle this. I've called, one of the legal service lawyers, and he said, as far as he's concerned, I'm a squatter. How can I be a squatter? I mean, I understand I have permission from her, but Georgine has the copy of the title, or the text message stating that April gave me the trailer, but I don't have the title. I'm like in a hard bind, I don't know what to do, I don't wanna be homeless, I don't know where to go. You know, and I put into a lot of, if you wanna see the pictures, I could show you.
Again, not to sound like a.
And I mean, even
not
if
to
she
sound
used
like
to
a
give me,
retirement.
she don't even update the leases every year. Everybody's gotta ask and she doesn't do it. Then when I asked, she used to give me rent receipts every year with a letter, or every week, every month with a ledger. She don't do that anymore. You leave messages, she doesn't answer. And it's like, before she used to put out notices, oh, you're being evicted because now she's sending screenshot text messages instead of putting a notice at the door like she used to. I'm like, she's not doing her job.
Yeah, but that sounds like a legal issue, and I would, not to sound like a retired attorney, but I think you should consult with counsel, because it sounds like, you know, you may have some rights there, and, you gotta enforce them, but we can't play attorney for you.
What if I was to hold my rent money in escrow right now until this is taken care of? Do you think
Well,
that
well,
judge would be doing anything?
under the law, under certain circumstances, that is an option, but I'm not, and I don't think anybody up here wants to give you legal advice, that that's the right thing to do in this case. That's why I say you should speak to an attorney, and they'll tell you if your circumstances.
I don't even have money from an attorney either.
Yeah.
And I've called legal services.
Legal services, legal aid.
They said they can't even get involved because I'm a squatter.
The Community Health Law Project will see you and possibly take on your case.
That sounds like
They don't
a
charge.
suggestion. Yeah, look around a little bit.
But he told me to, call the Board of Health and have the inspector come out and inspect the place.
Well, if there are health violations, sure, they'll take action too, but that doesn't necessarily mean it straightens out your problems with your landlord, you know.
Can I make a comment, Paul?
Mr. Gardner,
Just a quick question, and maybe Amy can answer this for me. The requirements for the license, for the approval for the council, for the trailer, for their, so they can operate for the year, what are some of the requirements, if you don't mind, Amy?
All of their fees have to be paid, municipal fees such as taxes, water, sewer, whatever, fees they have, and code enforcement is sent out, and we get a report back that tells us whether they, have any substantial issues that would, prevent them from being renewed.
And based on the two, residents that just came up, will any of their concerns be a part of that code enforcement, requirement for approval?
I'm not a code enforcement officer, so I'm not sure if they drove around, they'd be able to see those things easily.
She's told me that being in that trailer park, if you're gonna live there, you have to have title, you cannot rent.
I'm just talking off the top of
No,
my
I'm just
head
saying.
here, but I'm sure there are a lot of tenants in there, and in my experience, the tenants don't usually have title to the mobile home, the owner has the title, right? And this person is still the owner, or their mother, or whoever.
You know, the mother passed away.
Yeah, but,
Now she has the
But the
title,
title's
and now the
still-
lawyer has it, yeah.
yeah.
Because code enforcement told me I had so much time to get the title, and I've been trying, and I can't get a hold of her.
Our best, your time's up, our best
Yeah.
advice is get some legal advice.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Best of luck. So anyone?
Hi, Lori Reynolds, 46 Horizon Health Hospital. I just want to make one thing sort of clear to people who may have the misconception that any questions that are being asked about Sycamore Hall at this point are causing this project to be held up. The township purchased Sycamore Hall more than 5 years ago in April of 2019. So, and nothing has been done since that time. So we're not, you know, anybody who's raising questions about the process now for the redevelopment of that building is not delaying its completion. I have some questions on the contract with, before and after properties. I can't find any record of a review and approval at the planning board level for their plan. Did that go before the planning board? That's my first question. I know you don't want to answer until afterwards, but, according to the, town center redevelopment plan, it was supposed to go before the planning board. That's part of the law. And, I can't find any record of that approval being granted by the planning board. According to the redevelopment plan guidelines, changes can only be made by the governing body with a majority vote to revise or amend the plan, and must be recorded with the reasons for any changes in their minutes. So, the amendment to the amendment to the redevelopment plan that was, in the resolutions that failed to pass on July 17th and again on August 21st, they would have been the amendment to the plan, but yet a contract has already been signed and the building has already been sold. The contract was signed a year ago. In the contract, it says that a plenary license must be obtained by the redeveloper within 6 months of the date of signing. That was the transfer of the plenary license happened at last month's meeting or the meeting before. Construction of the second and third floors was to be completed 12 months after execution of contract. Nothing's been done. Throughout the presentations, there was no need for a mortgage, and the town council, the former business administrator, said that the financing for the purchases and renovations were fully verified, the company was fully vetted, and they had all the money to do the renovations and to purchase the property. However, county records now indicate that there's a 2-year mortgage that's being held for $270,000 by the Delaware Valley Sickle Cell Anemia. So I think that would some of these things not invalidate that contract at this point? And perhaps even the sale of it? The redevelopment plan at the waterfront particularly, addressed long-term or short-term housing needs. And it also addressed the town square Central Park. So the land that Sycamore Hall is on was supposed to be merged, according to the plan, it was supposed to be merged with Veterans Park. And the parking was going to be realigned, and some of the drive-through was going to be narrowed a little bit. And then that front lawn area was going to be expanded, and that would become the town square Central Park. And even renovations would be, or realignment of the road in front of Sycamore Hall would be realigned, and there would be a wide crosswalk where people could go from the lawn area safely across the street to the lake, where at some point in the future there might be docks and fishing and that sort of thing kind of to take part in. This was what was proposed in the plan. This is what is in the plan today. This still stands until it's amended. It can't be amended unless you do these resolutions, unless these resolutions are passed. And the need for short-term housing was also a priority in the waterfront development. We needed rooms. We were told by Dwarham, this was a 2-year plan that was done in cooperation with the state. It's extremely comprehensive. It's on my chair. It's like that thick. It was very comprehensive, and it was supposed to be good for the next 30 years, unless it was amended. The short-term housing needs that were listed in there were for Deborah Hartenlong Center and for Joint Base MDL. So now we've got 4 apartments that have been proposed for the 2nd and 3rd floor of that building. If they did 8 sleeping rooms with adjoining bathrooms, and did that lease it to an Airbnb, or do it as a bed and breakfast, put 1 kitchen in the building downstairs, which could eventually be used for the restaurant that they say that they may really want to do at some point. We would have covered both of the things that the plan was supposed to cover, and it would be a natural and normal realignment. there's historic preservation money. This is, I know, I don't wanna go over my minutes, but I'm telling you, this is so important to us. White Spots Village, over the past, since 1990, has gotten $663,000 from the New Jersey, an application was put in by New Jersey Parks and Forestry. Fenwick Manor has gotten over $600,000 in historic funds. Not one thing has ever been applied for in this township. Both of those buildings are, White Spots is 167 years old, and Fenwick Manor is 197. Sycamore Hall is 248 years old. It's illogical. It's unconscionable. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Harry Harper, 18 Highland Road, Mount Mills, New Jersey. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Just want to start, run down the list here. Please vote no for Resolution 203, 2024. Some of you say we need the tax revenues to help the town, but the first thing we do when we make these redevelopment deals is we offer them tax breaks. We should not be offering tax breaks. We should not be offering redevelopment deals. You know, if they wanna come in and build, they build on their own merits with their own money, not on ours. It's just, it's a constant thing in this town, you know. We should be asking them what are they gonna do for us, not the other way around. What can we do for them? Resolution 262, 2024 should be a no vote in my opinion. The project has not been approved by council yet and has not been sent to the planning board. This could take years before we need to worry about doing sewer hookups out there. Again, administration's putting the cart way before the horse here. You know, I hope I'm not wasting my breath on R270, 2024. Begging you please to vote no on that if you haven't already made up your minds. And we've hired a part-time BA group to help the mayor get through town business handling for now. And, you know, we should take our time hiring a new BA that, you know, fits what we need for this town, even if it takes a year to do it, you know. I think we're better off taking our time, really vetting someone. You know, hopefully, maybe we can even find someone that lives in town and cares a little more than somebody that doesn't. Resolution 276, 2024. I thought we already had a deal on the old Acme property. Did the town get any of their money yet from that project? Or, you know, are they looking for yet another set of concessions to get them further down the line? Again, I thought it was a done deal, and I was really hoping that we didn't have to deal with this again. It just seems like every time, as I said, we keep giving concessions to the developers where they should be giving concessions to us. You know, we've owned the property for quite a bit now, and as far as I know, we haven't seen any money on it. Let's see where I'm at. 275, 2024. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but if it's to create a new position in the town, nothing against whoever they plan on hiring or anything, but we shouldn't create new openings and new positions if it wasn't already set forth in this year's budget. We set a budget for a reason. We shouldn't have to, go back and, redo, our salary schedule if we're gonna make a new position. They should be considered before the new budget year, in my opinion, unless there's a real need for it. And the only other thing I had last meeting under new business, I asked a question about a new net for over there at the park at Spring Lake. And I was told that, net was ruined and it had to be done. I happened to stop by out there today, looked at it. It's basically a rope ladder, a cable rope with coating on it. And I mean, what I saw, I took several pictures. There's one wrong on there that the coating is wore off. $20 at the O'Brien's hardware store, you can spray cover that and it's fine. Or if you take a closer look, those links are removable and you can order just the link that's wore out and maybe do that for $100 instead of spending $3,500 of the taxpayers' money. I'm all for keeping the kids safe and don't want them to get hurt. But it's common sense stuff. If we save $3,400 this week, $3,400 next week, by the end of the year we can buy a new dump truck. But we don't think that far ahead. We just say, oh yeah, we need a new rope. I thought $3,500 was too much for it anyway. But those are just my thoughts for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hogan. Adam, good evening.
Hi, Larry. I know you're probably staring at my hair going, what in the heck is she doing?
Matches the blouse nicely.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually QRE Awareness Month, and my granddaughter has a QRE, and Friday is the walk. So every year in September, we dye our hair purple and we go on the walk. And maybe by Christmas it'll come out. Okay, I'm gonna just go through the list here. The two things on the warehouse, 203 and 262, I don't think we need any more warehouses. I just worked on the map where they're at, and we don't need anything there. That section of road driving into town is nice right now, and then you're gonna pollute it with more warehouses? I don't think so. It just will not look good. Also, 256, the amendment. I wanna know what the amendment is. Is it an additional $500,000, take them. Okay, the last one, 270, I just hope that you all properly vet before you vote. 275-24. I see this a lot in our reports, the CWA Local 1040. I have no idea what that is, and I would like to know, and I would also like to know what amendment to what contract that is. Also, the 276-2024 approves third amendment to purchase and sale agreement. Now, that's the property that is the old Acme, and I was just told the other day by one of the people down there, it's hearsay, but anyway, he said that he's out of there in December and that they're supposed to be starting construction. So what are we making, what amendment are we doing? Is it, we're gonna amend it so they can face their building to the east instead of the west? What type of amendment is that? And that's it for right now.
Well, I believe I can answer the question regarding the New Horizon Properties 276. What I saw the amendment was an extension of time to satisfy the preconditions to the contract. Any contract like that's gonna say, well, we'll buy it from you if we get all our approvals, and if we get this, and if we get financing, and if we get that, and we get that. And in this case, they had to have the environmental cleanup too. So
Well, I can tell you.
Go ahead,
You know,
please.
the only issue there is the planning board. That their application is pending before the planning board was filed. The deadline is coming up any day from the deadline to get the approval.
They did file, Andy.
Yeah, in June.
They haven't been, all the professionals have reviewed it. Unfortunately, they haven't been ruled complete.
Right.
So they're trying to come up with the
Work through
things that
that
they need to do. I think there's one internal traffic on the site itself that needs to be worked on. And I think there was one other minor thing that they were working on, and that entails, changing the drawings, getting the engineer to sign off on it, and unfortunately, that takes time. So, the redevelopment agreement, like you were about ready to say, is about ready to lapse, so we would like to extend it so they can continue doing what they're doing to
Correct.
get through the board.
In other words, their contract said, we have a right to make sure we're gonna get planning board approval. Obviously, they don't wanna buy the property and pay whatever millions of dollars for it, and then find out the planning board said you can't do that there. So they're waiting for the planning board approval, and it hasn't come yet.
Okay, so the amendment is for more time.
Right. They
6
just want,
months.
they don't want us to say, sorry, contract's dead, you didn't pay us in time, and they ran out of time because of our planning board.
Okay. CWA, when is that?
It's a union.
For what?
It's for the Department of Public Works.
Okay. So what type of amendment is that?
Oh, I got hit. So it's for the Department of Public Works. This position is part of the table of organization, and it hasn't been filled for a few years. This position is being reintroduced just to have somebody hired in a position as part of the succession plan for the Department of Public Works. It always had a superintendent, assistant superintendent, and then a supervisor of Public Works was in charge of project management and overseeing a lot of projects. This is what this position is talking about as an addition to the contract.
So we're gonna be hiring somebody else when we've already did our budget for the year?
No, this person is an existing employee. So I'm sure that this position, first of all, we're at the end of
Already in
the,
the budget is what I'm asking. Could you
this
just-
person's salary is in the budget. I'm sure there's probably a line item, typically a budget will have a salary adjustment line item to address these things, and our CFO's here, and I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So, I just wanna make sure I understand. So there's a supervisor, assistant supervisor, and then the person underneath them.
So there's a
They were
director.
all three in the thing and existing.
So in the table of organization, you have the director of public works, the assistant director, and this position would be the supervisor, supervisor and oversight.
Right, when you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said, I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Sure.
You said that that they haven't been there for a couple of years.
So this person has been here.
No.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So this position is something that is in the table of organization, what I could speak to, thank you, Mayor, yes, this, the individual, it is in the table of organization already, and, apparently it's been existing, vacant for a few years, I don't know how long, but in any event, the desire is to ensure that it is included in the table of organization, and the employee in which they would like to fill that position is what the CNA is asking for an amendment to, the union agreement, CNA.
Okay, well, I would say no then, on that one. Just finding out the details of that, because we do not need to add another person to our budget.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good evening, everybody. My name is America Phillips. I live in Pemberton Township for 44 years. And be honest with you, in the last 6 months, I've been attending meeting after meeting. One to another, haven't been very happy either. Because seeing to us, to all the residents, they've been thrown under the bus for the second time with me. Okay? I attended a meeting last week. I was not very happy with what I hear, okay? And I never saw, as a Pemberton resident, they were in the board, everybody jumped on the boat and said yes. That's it. And I just hope tonight, I don't hear the same thing what I hear in the other meeting. We got voices. We come in here from the people who works. Sometimes the room is filled. But you know why? Because they hear. And they want to protect the history in this town. But apparently, this room do not look that way. But we're not going to waste our time. We're going to continue fighting for, okay? And I just hope that tonight, in every single thing in here, everybody vote no, please. This is not fair for us in this place. What I see what is coming day in and day out, since the previous administration, I already know we went under the bus, but now it look like that we're going under the bus. And we're not going to let that happen. We're going to fight to the end. We do not need nothing else in this town. One redeveloper fix it what is broken in town. And don't get ready the history place either. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charles Joe, we're at 304 Serrano Trail. I've lived in this town my entire life, going on 48 years now. I know I don't look at people keep calling me a kid. But I have been here long enough to know, and in this state especially, long enough to know how the corruption machine works. I have seen enormous numbers of warehouses going up all over this county, and I know for a fact that we have the most empty warehouse space in the country. It's unnecessary. I've heard of the kickbacks that other places are getting. I've heard of all the little rigmarole schemes that these developers go about to put these warehouses in for ridiculous amounts of tax breaks that essentially render the construction free for them when all is said and done. And then many of them declare bankruptcy, take the money and run. And we're left with a big, ugly, empty shell. There's no point to these things. People keep making the excuses, oh, well, we have to do this, we have to allow people to sell their land. Yeah, you can sell the land. There's this little thing called zoning, which you don't have to change. There is nothing in the legal code that forces you to change the zoning from an agricultural land to business. That's not necessary. That's done because somebody's got their hand under the bathroom stall and it's getting filled. I know how this state has done business in the past. That's why this state is a joke globally. You make a Jersey joke online, everybody laughs. The people in Afghanistan laugh. Please let us stop this town from adding to the farce of New Jersey. Thank you.
Road. I wasn't going to say anything because last time I said something, I pissed off a couple people. So, today I'm talking about the farms. Not only is it important to save the farms, our food is already outrageous, and if we don't save the farms, we're going to have to buy food from other countries, or other countries are already buying the farm ground that we have. It's not just for warehouses, it's so they can farm our ground and charge us any amount of money they want for the ground that we pretty much gave them. So if we don't reserve our right to keep it a farm, not only keep it a farm, make it affordable so we can buy it and not let outsiders buy it, to say the least. I know across the street from my farm, I can't think of something to go, it's called. They own 600 acres around Southampton, Pemberton, up Route 70 in Medford. That's just one group. It's a Chinese-owned company, and after what happened with the pagers the other day, I can't imagine what could happen with cell phones. Everyone owns a cell phone from another country. Stuff can happen. So what makes you think that they wouldn't do something to our food, let alone the outrageous prices that they could gouge us for if we keep giving away our land? So.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Pat Iverson, 59 West Hampton Street. A couple of ones on here too. 203-2024. I already have had disagreement with that one. Once again, we're allowing these warehouses to come in, and that agreement, if you read through it, is totally ridiculous. On the other one too, 256-2024. What is the amendment on our budget that was tabled? Because we haven't gotten any of the minutes posted yet on the website, so trying to go back and look at these things that's tabled for the public is a little difficult, so I might need a refresher on that. 262-2024, which coincides with 203-2024. Definitely not again. Same difference there. We don't have any of this stuff, and now we're looking for treatment work approvals for the sanitary. 270-2024 is another one. I don't want to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. And it seems like that if we go along that route, that's where we're headed again. We already got rid of, one tyrannical PA. We don't need another one. Let's see. All right, on the ordinance that we have here, if somebody can answer that one for me. This is the same thing. I know we were told it was for redundancy on our water system. Well, it seems like it's more or less going to another development to take out more farm ground is what it's all about, and not really a whole heck of a lot to do with redundancy. So these are some things I'd like a couple answers to. What are the capital budget amendments, or what are we looking at there? I mean, we already had the budget in there, and we're floating a heck of a lot more money than what we passed.
I think that's the reason our CFO is here this evening.
My question to you, Council President, is do you want to answer these now, or I'm sure there's going to be more questions from the council members when we go through the resolutions. Do you want to save it for when you folks go through it to answer those questions?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter on that if you're going to go through it, but like I said, these would be ones that I would say no to at this point. And going back to what everybody else already said, we're losing farm ground left and right in this country. I mean, there's an article, and I'm pretty well versed in it, being what I'm involved in. Tennessee is losing 10 acres a minute. All right, that's a heck of a lot of ground. This isn't just here. This is all over the country. National security depends on food security. And I know everybody thinks, well, you're a row crop guy, you're growing corn and soybeans. That has nothing to do with us eating. Well, if you eat pork, you eat chicken, you eat anything else, it has a lot to do with what I do, because that's what feeds it. So, I mean, these developers too, the same thing. We're saying, these warehouses down on 38, supposedly they're going bankrupt. These people build these shells and then leave. Once that's there, you're not getting any tax revenue out of it. Plus the infrastructure, which, going to our amendments here in our ordinance, that the township is putting in for these people that we're never going to see back when they, get in their car and leave, and that's going to be the end of it. Or they end up in jail or whatever, some of them are.
The two resolutions and.
Mayor, can you just wait till you're done, sir?
Yeah, that's kind of it. Go ahead.
In case there's anything else.
The two resolutions that you were talking about the warehouses, 203 and 262. Council President and I had a conversation today, and when they get into the resolutions, if need be, I can go more in depth, but I'm actually going to ask for those two resolutions to be pulled. Or I guess a better thing is to table them, because a couple things come up that we need to resolve and review, and right now, I don't feel comfortable putting these through.
All right, I appreciate it, and that's a good sign. Let's just take 5 minutes, step back, and look at all this stuff that's going on, and then, we got a better idea, instead of, charging ahead and nothing, is being resolved. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? All right. Just to let y'all know the, I'm sorry, Robert King, 247 Amherst Avenue. Everyone knows who's Pete. From the school board, just want to let y'all know that this year we are really cracking down on the schools. We have a lot more zero tolerance policies, and we're actually making a lot of progress this year. And I want to let everyone know. And then also for the school buses, please remember when the kids are out there, when the sign goes out, stop. I actually watched somebody blow through one the other day on my way to school. It's like, come on, really? So please watch out for the safety of the kids. And we do have an exciting school year going on, and that's what else we do. So, and just to let y'all know too, our school is also one of the purple schools here for the military base. We've been getting funding for that. And when I was talking to their liaison,
Business administrator.
Council President, I'd like to pull that.
Pull that, okay.